How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, 3rd chapter. So, I realized when I let out Mueller from the containment field that time had passed. I was worried I'd missed something. Apparently, the thing that changed is that with the time change, I guess all the chests that I've opened have a different message in them, and any chests that I hadn't opened yet would have a different message. Would now have a different message, so I might have missed out on some of those. But that doesn't sound like the worst thing in the world to miss. So it is a bit unfortunate, but at the same time, it sounds like it wasn't anything terrible. So that's probably good. Yeah, so if I visit some of the other chests, I'll check out their messages, and yeah, we'll continue exploring. But last time we had a lot of fun. We were able to get into the door, see a little side story. Again, though, that's the thing, though. The star doors, they're apparently the short ones. That didn't feel very short. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. But yeah, we're trying to get into the castle and explore a little bit more, and I guess we'll do a little bit of reviewing, but we've gotten a good amount of money, so I'm probably going to try and upgrade a bit some gear, I suppose. It sucks though, because it's like I said last time, one of the big issues with upgrading gear is the fact that the game tends to give you even better gear than the upgrades, but if you don't upgrade, you're just kind of handicapping yourself. So it's kind of a catch-22 on how you want to do. So maybe what I could do is before I go into the castle, which is likely going to have the final boss, that's when I make sure that we upgrade as much as possible. So for now, maybe I just explore a little bit, try and kind of finish everything up in the city area. And then when we see the big barrier go down and we're going to go fight that devil, I just try and load up on the best gear I can get my hands on at the time. But so far, we're doing pretty good. I'm pretty excited about what's going to be happening here. And so, yeah, I can't think of really much else. I'm just going to kind of review gear real quick, make sure orbments are kind of where I want them to be, and just make sure I don't want to go back and get Tita for whatever reason. Like, she might be really fun to have, but I feel like my current team probably would work pretty well. And so I think we're going to stick with it for now and see how it goes. But yeah, I don't anticipate this episode being too intense. It's probably going to be more battle heavy than anything else now that I think about it. I don't think we can open up any other doors, which is something else I'll look at real quick, because I'm going to jump through, and if I see a door that I might be able to open now, I might go for it, but I'm pretty sure that we don't have any of the conditions for those doors as of yet. So give me a sec, I'll review everything, we'll jump right into it. Okay, things look pretty solid. Okay, it still has the seal on it. So we're going to explore back through, and there's also more parts that have been unlocked, so I'm just going to kind of tackle those as we go. And okay, new enemy too. Fetch V. That kind of surprised me. Okay, let's see. An Iron Kaiser. Handmade suit of armor, made of ledges, specializes in charge attacks. Interesting. Now let's take a quick peek here. We have, because there's the stats, right? Alright, so I got a quick question here. So, I know there's a thing about not not fleeing for 300 battles, and then also something for fleeing 300 battles, right? So I have had a fight that I lost clearly, because I had 65 battles with 64 victories. Does a loss count as a fled or not? I can't even remember what was the fight that did that to me. I'm not sure. I think it must have been the boss, the first devil, but I just don't know how that stacks up for that. I mean, it's not saying a fled, so I'm guessing it doesn't matter. If it does, that would suck, because it basically would mean I have to have 300 perfect fights, where I don't have a loss at all. Because even it counts people getting knocked out in a fight. So that's crazy. But anyway, alright, let's move on and explore some more. You are the real treasure. That doesn't feel different. I swear I read that message before. I'm empty, you say? What a liberalist statement. That does sound right. Okay, are you guys sure that the chest messages changed? Because that does sound exactly like it was before. The door's locked. Okay, so no sewers for now. Honestly, I would prefer not to have to deal with sewers anyway. Oh, look at this. Huh. There's also a seal on the arena. So maybe the devil isn't going to be in the castle at all. Maybe we have to go to the arena and face it, and then that'll drop the barrier at the castle. I could see that being the way things play out. Oh, fetch. Gosh darn it. I can't believe that got me. I'm already sick of not being able to just like I want to have one of those orbs that makes it so that you can't get seen by enemies. Because gosh darn it, I am so sick of the tiptoeing around the entire map trying to not hit every single fight. And there might be some people be like, oh, but you'll level up if you hit every fight. I think I don't have the time for that. And you don't have trouble leveling. Because of the rubber banding of the leveling, like this system is designed to not be so difficult that you can't just like, you know, scale yourself up without having to go out of your way to grind. The story begins either in Guinevere or North Jubilee, but with a shop in the letter. Located in Bowes, cramped between two of the most popular shops in the block with a tiny, tiny building. I remember that. Like, am I going crazy? I feel like the chest messages did not change. I must be losing my mind. Because the thing is, like, I'm sure you guys are right. Like, I don't doubt you. Maybe there's something weird about this version of the game, that's on Steam or something. General Morgan's residence. I remember this place. Obtain Sepheth. Psst, your survival hinges on what I have to say. Run! Run now! Wouldn't that be amazing if something like dropped out from the ceiling and tried to attack us right there? Now, there's also like that shady business that was set up in the last game with the old mayor who like set up like the Sepheth shop. I wonder if that'll be here. Celestial Balm, nice. 35 out of 36. So, the son began cautiously. What would you say if I told you I was thinking of selling Grandpa's shop? It's the second to last entry of that story, apparently. A stun GB. You mean 2 games full of these cheesy phrases wasn't enough? Yeah, it wasn't. It never will be. Oh, another door.
武勲なき者、我が扉をくぐるに値せず。認められたくば戦いを重ねよ。
Oh, interesting.
汝らが100の戦いを制したとき、力を認め、扉を開か。
Okay. 100 battles. Now, I'm pretty sure we're not that far off from that. What am I doing? Wrong buttons. There. 70 battles. Yeah, we could do 30 battles pretty quick, I'm sure. Alright, now I have a reason to start picking fights, because that feels like it's within reach. I could definitely do that. Because maybe I should be careful, because I don't want to rush into that. Terra Bomb. Beware, the chest is full of salt. Yes. All of them tend to be. Oh, so yeah, we got that gun. I'm guessing, obviously, like, the only person that has a gun right now is Tita, so naturally. I miss Tita. I think her smoke bombs might be almost, like, it might be worth, like, bringing her, alone might be worth bringing her onto the team. Oh, fetch it, what are you? I don't like that at all. A Terra Bomb. Hey, my eyes are up here. Yeah, stop staring at their chest. That's a cute joke. Here is Sketchy Shop. Naturally, I can't get anything useful out of this place. I saw them at the last second. So hard to see in the buildings. Oh, 2 chests. A swing witch? The chest is empty. Looks like you try coming up with hundreds of these across the 3 games. Look, you try coming up with hundreds of these across 3 games. Brain roast. I thought it said brain rot. I think I'm having brain rot. 7 out of 12. Each time Hideko reflected on these events, feelings of remorse would wash over her. If only I'd had the courage to refuse that door-to-door bargain all those years ago. What kind of door-to-door bargain made you have a lifetime of regret? That's actually kind of interesting. Now I want to know what that's all about. Someone left that croissant. Alright, the Liberl News Service. Ooh. Black Bangle Plus. Did you know? Early concepts of Joshua as the protagonist, while Estelle had Joshua's current role. Over time, however, the team believed it made more sense if the roles were switched. I actually really am glad they did switch that. It would have been kind of interesting to see, like, a post-evil Estelle, right? So, like, Joshua was Cassius's son, and then he grabs this little girl and brings her home, and it turns out she's this, like, super assassin. That would be interesting, too. But I think Estelle being the main character, the protagonist of the first 2 games, I feel like was much better. I think Estelle is a better role for, like, the optimistic character. I also think, especially from, like, it's not like these games are ancient, right? But I still think to this day, it's difficult to find games with a female-led protagonist that is genuinely just, like, allowed to be themselves and not feel like, I don't know, like you're trying to, like, I don't know, make some kind of weird statement or something. It's likely, I'm hoping we're going to start phasing away from that, because I feel like people try to get, like, brownie points for doing certain things or writing in certain ways instead of just trying to tell a good story. And I think Estelle's one of the best examples of a female protagonist in a game, or any story in general, that's just done so perfectly, where she has her own personality, her own quirks, her own faults and her own failings, her own weaknesses and her own strengths, and that these are things that are independent of her being a woman. She's just Estelle. And I love that Estelle's allowed to just be herself, and that the story isn't trying to revolve or trying to spin a narrative around, like, the fact that she's a woman, which is the fault that I see a lot of times. It's like, I understand wanting to empower women, and I think it's great to have characters that are empowered and feel like that they don't have to be, like, cubbyholed into anything, right? Like, that's a good thing to have. But when you are so obsessed with that point that that's the only point you tend to drive, then it just feels very hollow and echoey. And, like, you don't allow the character to be a character, you're just letting them be maybe a self-insert, and it just doesn't do it any justice. Estelle is one of the greatest female characters I've ever seen as a protagonist, and I love it. I think that the writing for Estelle and the arc that she goes on is a very, like, it should be, I don't know, something that is studied in writing courses, because it's so well done, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe not, maybe people won't agree, maybe people don't like her as a character, but that's okay. You're allowed to not like characters. I think that the fact that she can shine as a character is proof enough that she's a successful one. And it's not like, oh, like, there aren't good enough female characters in a lot of media. Like, this game is chock full of fantastic female characters, but the protagonist, the character whose eyes you're watching the narrative play out through, is important. And I think that they did a phenomenal job with her. All right, so let's see what this Black Bangle does. Prevents sleep, simulates a pressure point. It just adds high dex too, which is really good. I'm gonna give that to Julia, because Julia's kind of like our strongest attacker. And she's somebody who I want to be able to be, like, straight up in the front most of the time. Kevin, I want to give the proxy puppet, because, like, I hate using these, but as long as he's, like, conscious, he can bring others back. So worst case scenario would be he gets sniped in a battle. So I'd rather make sure he can stay on his feet even if I lose that item. S tablet. 15 out of 36. Buildings, furniture, instruments, wedding rings. No matter what the job, he craved each and every piece. He carved each and every piece handsomely. Each one showed more heart than the last. So now the question I'm having is, where am I supposed to go? Because I feel like I've gone everywhere. Maybe the docks, because I haven't tried that door yet, and I don't remember if anything happened in there or not. Let's go to the docks. Or the port. Oh, something's happening. I guess this is where we were taken into the cube, so that would be... Oh, hello. You're a familiar sight.
山猫号。なぜこんな場所に？
やはり知っている船のようですね。
ある声優と同じく例の事件で浮遊都市に乗り込んだ空賊団の飛行艇や。もっとも今は空賊家業はやめたって聞いたんやけど。
彼らは事件の後。陛下による恩赦によって無罪放免の身となったんだ。
Oh, that's cool. So are they like now like members of like are they members of Liberl now? Like, because they got a pardon, because they were banished essentially and ousted from Erebonia. So I wonder if now, like with the pardon, they can become citizens of Liberl. That'd be cool.
今では飛行艇を使った運送業をしていたはずだが。
That's cool. Hey, good for them.
はあ、そうやったんですか。
Kevin and I are on the same wavelength.
なるほど。でも、その船がどうしてこんな場所に？
Because all of us who set foot on the Liberl Ark are clearly the ones being targeted.
運送業やってるんなら、仕事でグランスルに来ることもあるかもしれへんけど。まあいい。とにかく中を調べてみるとしようか。
That's true. I'm guessing we're gonna find another crystal in there, but I kind of want to explore the dock first. It's big empty out here, huh? Gotta be someone out here. Little tiny chest, not one we can open. This one though. A long barrel 2. 18 to 36. The shop and its contents were now his to do with as he pleased. As far as he was concerned, he would be happier man if he never had to experience the nauseating smell of freshly cut wood ever again. Alright, so long barrel. Again, that's another thing that's only for Tita. Might be good to go get her again. Like her blinding cannon, like the smoke canister cannon is so good. It genuinely might be good to have. Yeah, there's another one back there, Terra Bomb. Say 19 to 36. His wife, however, disagreed. She was never one to keep quiet. A trait of hers he normally adored, and tonight she was no different than usual. She voiced her concerns over dinner. Again, that story's gonna make no sense until we can read it in order. Crimson Eye. Oh, I remember that. I had a heart of gold until you stole it. Crimson Eye. Let's see. Like, I remember that being something good. So arts defense up, movement and speed down, prevents mute. Yeah, so we're definitely giving that to Kevin. Get him down! Holy crap! Oh my gosh, it's so good! Wow. 3 purging bombs. Aw, man. I was hoping to get, like, more diversity. Ascent. Trails in the Sky the Third was delayed for 5 years to come up with more treasure chest phrases. I doubt it was that, but I can see it being delayed 5 years. Now, if I remember Scent. Scent is great because it gives you a good bonus to wind, but at the cost of making it so that enemies become aware of presence. So it's like, it's a great element, but until you can like block it, it's actually like, it makes traveling around even harder. Some people probably don't mind that. I kind of do. Purging Balm. 33 out of 36. Her cat had won over everyone she met. She may have been an unusual sort, but she had won over both peers and elders alike. She was a source of pride of her parents. That would never ever change. Terra Balm. It'll be right there, she yelled, switching out the vacuum and running to the door. Hello, my name is Sato, and I'm going door to door with a special offer. Oh, so that's the door-to-door offer that ruined her life, apparently? That's funny. Okay, I think I might have explored the whole docks at this point. So now it's time to go over to the Bobcat. Oh, almost missed you. EP charge. My favorite character in chess is from Yish, the Oath of Felghana. Felghana. So YS, or Yes, whatever that is that a good series? Is that something I should consider playing eventually? Is that another Falcom title, or is that a completely different title? Because I know it's something that came around, like, it's from a similar era as this, so... Oh. Was I supposed to come in here yet?
ここは例の戦車が隠されてた倉庫か。
Maybe I should have gone to the Bobcat first, but okay.
中はこんな風になってたんやな。
Yeah, that tank was a terrifying fight.
現在こちらの倉庫には他の借り手がついているらしい。もちろん身分の方はきちんとチェックしてあるはずだ。
I hope so.
なるほど。ま、そうですやろね。
But I don't think Fenton would be foolish enough to try it again. Oh, gross. What are you?
実体化した亡霊やと来るぞ。
Oh, those look horrifying. Right, well, let's take a look at you. A wisp, evil spirit born from darkness of people's hearts, steals foes' movement with breath. They are immune to water spells, but they're weak to wind. This is the first time we're seeing elemental weaknesses, finally. Cool, cool.
My soul and sword are as one.
It looks so cool. It looks way better too with this, except the artifacting that's happening there. What's up with that? My computer's pretty beefy. It can handle it. Beautiful. Done. Should have just done that from the start. They dropped a ton of water stuff though. Did you see that? 132. Yeah, someone did mention that. Like the cap's been doubled. It used to be 75. Now I'm guessing it's like 150. Dang. Ooh, shiny. Bobcat's key. Oh.
それはさっきの飛行艇の
I guess if we got on the airship, it would have been locked. So I just kind of skipped that part.
そうみたいやな。しかし、なんでこんなところに落ちとんのや。
不可解なことばかりだが。
Definition of this game: solve one mystery, find two right around the corner.
これでようやくあの船の中に入ることができそうだな。
ええ、早速行ってみますか。
All right, well, I accidentally skipped some dialogue there. Apologies. I'm sure we would have gone to the door. Huh, it's locked. Well, we'll have to continue exploring. And now it's like, oh, okay. Now see how I'm doing. 82 fights. Okay, we're doing good. All right, to the Bobcat. The door is unlocked. All right. Starting the hold. Because there's almost guarantee there's gonna be another crystal inside the cockpit. I knew it. Mueller tried to turn on the computer, but nothing happened.
動力機関が起動していないようだな。見たところ、起動キーはかかっているようだが。
なるほど。アルセイユと同じですね。
ま、予想通りと言うべきか。
今は諦めるしかなさそうですね。
Oh well. Here we go, crystal time.
おっと、あれは。
よく見えないけど、多分私が取ってこようか？
いや、念のため俺が行った方がええやろ。みんなは下で待っててくれ。
So, just like I was saying before, I feel like this game is purposely trying to give us, like, the characters we're getting early on are the characters that a lot of players, probably through the first two games, didn't spend a ton of time with. Some people say they really like Tita, but I got the impression that a lot of people probably found that while she was useful, other characters usually outshone and were more interesting than her, so it gave us Tita, and now Julia, Mueller, and I'm guessing Cosette. Because these are characters that we had either limited access to, or they only became playable characters right at the end when there was almost no time. Like once I got to the freaking like Liberl arc, and Cosette was a joinable playable character. Besides like her own little side story where she helped rescue the Bobcat and their crew, I just didn't see a reason to bring her along. I already had such good like team build-ups and everything. So I think it's like this is also a chance for them to let these characters shine, which is why they're like having us grab them like this. Sealing stone.
それが例の封印石とやらか。
You like it, huh?
この船にあったということは。
とりあえず、一旦拠点に戻るとしよう。こいつが解放されれば、また何か起こるかもしれへんし。
うん、それがいいかも。
Yes, although I have explored, I feel like we've got everything. So now, the one thing I want to do before I do that is I'm thinking of going ahead and just getting the 100 combats. I could explore a little bit more. I guess it's not too bad because I could probably do more, but I get the feeling that we're going to kick off the next part fairly soon. So yeah, 84. I only need another 15. I could do... well, 16. I think I can do that real fast. It'd just be a quick grind. Oh, did I not go to the landing port either? New places to explore. Oh, crap. How do I prevent him from doing that? Crap, I can't do enough damage to it. Best thing I can do. We have to kill it. Thank goodness. We couldn't let that happen. God, that's terrifying. Like, what little dude could just ruin everything. Oh. We might hit 100 combats just from exploring this area, actually. Nothing. Not even a single little chest. That's a little disappointing. Maybe there's gonna be another reason for us to come back here, or maybe I just haven't looked in the right spots. These maps tend to be so big, it can be easy to like hide stuff in the geometry. Airship arrivals departures to Roll at Zeiss and Calvard. Dangerous combustible objects prohibited. Alright, how am I doing? Oh, 100 battles. Okay. So now... we're gonna try it out. I'm gonna save, because this could be a tough fight, just because it's like, oh, you've done 100 battles, prove yourself.
武勲なき者我が扉をくぐるに値せず認められたくば戦いを重ねよ
I have had 100 battles. So you have to win 100 battles? Is that the difference? Okay, we'll go fight one more fight then. You. I know you're here. Great, there's two of you.
武勲なき者我が扉をくぐるに値せず認められたくば戦いを重ねよ
Yes, we're gonna open the door. Let's see how this plays out. It is a star door, so it's gonna have a story to it. So perhaps this is going to be the end of the episode, depending on how long it is.
Okay,
but whose memory fragment?
Northern Buria 旧大公国における潮の杭による被害状況
So, gosh, this is cool. Okay, so it's a report on the damage dealt to the former principality of North Ambria by the Salt Pail. The Salt Pail was referenced in the end of the last game. The arrow that Kevin used to kill Professor, God, what's his name? His nickname was Professor Alba, but he's like he had a gosh darn it, I'm just blanking here. You know who he is, big bad of the last game, right? He was about to escape. Kevin shot him with an arrow that turned him into a pillar of salt, and he mentioned how he's almost like, I'm almost honored that you went to the lengths of using the same power that destroyed that turned an entire kingdom to salt. I think that's what the Salt Pail is like a kingdom who like some kind of art or artifact got activated that turned everything to salt.
並びに杭についての研究報告アルテリア報告風星賞
Congregation for the Sacraments. Congregation for the Sacraments. The Salt Pail Report. Research Report.
母なる女神の身元にある意図尊敬すべき主婦機密枢密内覧に限り本書の閲覧を許可すただし一部秘匿事項については文字を止まつせるものなり
Dang.
杭出現の事件経過七曜暦1178年7月1日午前5時45分 ゼムリア大陸北部ノーザンブリア旧大公国、現在は自治州。ハリアスク大聖堂より緊急の知らせあり。
I'd love to see a big map for this as well.
旧皇都ハリアスク近郊に雲をつくがごとき白き巨柱が出現との内容。
So a big pillar.
報告者であるアレクセイ司教は委託同様の体。審問会の救命を受け、隣国にて別の任務に当たっていた聖杯騎士2名、第8位皇天使使と重騎士1名に同地への派遣が言い渡される。
So the roaring lion and a squire.
聖杯騎士は当時運用が開始されたばかりであった特殊作戦艇メルカバ8号機を借り、現地へ急行。
Alright, so the Merkaba. So that's the small, fast airships that they use. They only just got them.
同日、各て確認されたのが、
So they arrived about an hour later. Like an hour after the report was filed. Whoa.
現在、潮の杭として知られている物体である。
Look at that. And it looks like it erupted like... It said outskirts of the city, but it looks like there's buildings right next to it.
杭と名付けられてはいるが、発見当初の全高は数百アージを超え、
Yeah, like it's piercing through the clouds. Like this thing would be a flying hazard for modern aircraft. That thing's insanely tall.
大地からそそり立つ巨塔とでも言うべきようであった。当時の状況を聖杯騎士は以下のように報告している。
How much you want to bet Ouroboros was involved in this somehow?
コートハリアスク方面よりあられ混じりの猛烈な向かい風。やがてそれが氷でなく潮のかけらであることに気づく。
Holy crap, a salt storm. You know what, this would be such an ecological disaster on its own, because when you want not salt of the earth, because salt is super valuable because it's important for life, but if you want to desolate an area, in fact, this is what the Romans did to Carthage when they conquered it. They went and they tore up all the fields that they would grow crops in, and they put salt into the ground to make it so that that ground would not be able to or viable to grow for like hundreds, if not thousands of years. Like by putting too much salt in the ground, you make it like things just can't even grow. So you have clouds of salt falling in the area. This area, they may not know it, but even if it doesn't spread any further, they're dead. Like they can't survive or have a culture without like having some kind of, agricultural infrastructure.
物体の表面はすでに潮に覆われて見えず、周囲の大気は潮の微粉と化して沈降を続け、
Wow.
その様はあたかも桃源にしんしんと降る雪のごとし。
That would be the most insane thing to see.
塩化と呼ぶべきその現象の進行速度は凄まじく、被害は瞬く間に拡大し、
Salinification. Is that where like it actually like is spreading?
聖杯騎士の到着した頃には旧コート全域が潮と化し、逃げ遅れた市民多数、死境も含まれるの犠牲が確認された。
So yeah, like it was literally turning everything around it to salt too.
湿原から一昼夜、
Oh, of course.
旧コート北部に広がる広大な針葉樹林帯が結晶化して崩壊。
A whole forest. Oh, that's so sad.
橋梁が落ち、主要な街道のすべてが通行不能となる。
That's super scary. Like, so the bridge is collapsed. So even if there were survivors, they couldn't escape now.
当時の元首バルムント大公はこの時すでに隣国へ避難していた。
Prince Balmond. Why does Balmond sound familiar?
出現から2日。
Prince Balmond. That couldn't be Blue Blanc, could it?
国土の約半分が潮の海と化す。
Wow.
グレーブ川に遮られた南部地域へ住民の大多数が避難。
They hope the river might keep them safe.
出現から3日未明、ようやく塩化の進行が停止する。聖杯騎士、旧コートハリアスクの調査のため前進を開始。
So just because it stopped spreading doesn't mean I'd feel comfortable approaching it.
同日午後、 聖杯騎士は潮の杭に到達するが、それは発見当初とは変わり果てた姿で見出された。
Okay, so it wasn't the pillar anymore. Oh. Maybe it had died? Like it had gone from white to black and like kind of shriveled up. So maybe it initially like was the power and it kind of poured out, but it ran out of juice.
塩化現象の中心地にて見つかった杭は全高わずか 2.5 アージュ余り。
Yeah, so now it's not nearly that tall.
表面には何かにえぐられたような条痕が確認された。
Oh, weird.
塩化現象の進行に伴って杭本体の質量が減少していったと推測される。
Okay, so the pillar
周期終わり。
appears. This massive, massive pillar of salt. And then the salt basically bleeds into the surrounding matter. Like, I don't know if it's like turning things into salt or if the salt's coating things and drying them out, basically instantly killing them. But if maybe the matter of the pillar itself just kind of spread, leaving behind a husk of what was left.
大地を塩溶かす圧倒的な力は失われたとはいえ、杭本体には未だ塩化の能力が残っており。
Okay, so it couldn't spread the salination process anymore, but if you touched it, it could still turn you to salt. And so the arrow must have been crafted of that material.
たとえわずかでも直に接触さえ持てば、どんな対象をも瞬時のうちに塩の結晶へと変えてしまう脅威を秘めていた。
Wow, and they literally crafted such a dangerous object into a weapon.
そこで聖杯騎士は本山より届けられた聖具グレイプニールの力を用い、非接触にてこれを回収。
Gleipnir. That sounds familiar too. Like I think I've heard that in a different game. But what is that? Like I feel like that's something I have seen before. I should know what that is. I feel like I should know what that is.
以後、今日に至るまで塩の杭は本山奥深く厳重に封印されることとなった。
So I'm guessing they didn't take the whole thing, right? Or did they somehow spirit the whole thing away?
かくて回収は無事に行われたが、杭が当国にもたらした被害は甚大なものだった。
Literal cataclysm. It wiped like a nation off the face of the planet.
近隣諸国への被害は皆無であったものの、結果的に5つあった行政区のうち旧皇都を含む3つが壊滅。
3 of the 5 administrative districts. I'm guessing that's a basically equivalent of states or provinces. It'd be like I'm thinking like if this were detonated in the United States and like the Northeast especially, it'd be like this thing just gobbles up like New York, Maine, Vermont, and like New Hampshire. Just gone. Just instantly evaporated.
諸外国からの旅行者などを含め、総人口の実に3分の1にも上る数の命が犠牲となった。
A third of the total population.
突如として降りかかった厄災は人心にただならぬ不安と恐怖を与え。
Yeah, like even like an enemy like attack, like an invasion from another nation would make more sense psychologically than just waking up into cities turned to salt, including friends and family. And also, like they say psychologically in combat zones, like imagine like squads of soldiers you're going into like an active war zone, that typically if they take 33% losses, a third of their people are like down and eliminated. That's enough to break the morale of the rest. Like 30% is enough to basically not guarantee, but most likely be the tipping point to where people would call a surrender or like wave the white flag, just whatever it takes to stop this, right? So this thing basically decimated is actually the word meaning the decimation. It means like deca is like the root word at the front. That means 10. To do a decimate is to like, I believe, remove 10% of a population. That's considered decimating a population. This was 30%. This is insane. Like if you actually were to experience that, and it's like these are numbers that just don't make sense to you because they're too big. But it's like the easier way to be is like imagine your high school graduating class, your class in school. Like, I think high school is a good relatable one because that tends to be a bit more personable. Even if you had a fairly large school that had like 1,000 students, 1 out of every 3 people you know is gone, just dead within a day. And it's random. Like, you don't know who of those third is gone, but a third, like 1 out of every 3 people you know and like spent time with in school, just gone the next day. Could you imagine that?
信仰上の観点からも必要教会による事後処理が急務とされた。
Yeah, I bet.
そこで審問会は直ちに統治の救済として各現地における礼拝堂の立て直しと心身に負担を抱えた国民の手当に注力。
Dang, that's insane.
合わせて身寄りを失い孤児となった子供らについては福音施設にて身を預かり、その将来に至るまでを見届けることとした。なお、一面を塩と化した北部の地域は事件以降、教会の厳正なる管理下に置き、一般人の立ち入りを一切禁止している。
Interesting. So I wonder, besides like trying to research how this happened, what else happens up there? Whoa, look at that. Huh.
復帰。
Supplementary notes.
しばしの後、当国の元首であったバルムント元大公は国政の立て直しを図るが、
Prince Balmont, that sounds familiar to me.
近接の事態にあって自らの身の身を案じた元首にもはや権威はなく、
Yeah, I definitely see that.
翌年には民衆による武装蜂起が起こり、ノーザンブリア大公国は崩壊。後に選挙によってその代表を選出する民主議会が発足し、以降大公国は自治州として生まれ変わることとなる。
Holy crap, that's insane.
またその際、旧軍部は自警団として再編することになるが、
The foreign principalities' armed forces reformed as a vigilante corps.
貧窮の自治州にあって、その大半の者が早急なる外貨の調達を考え、
Oh, wait a minute. Is this where the start of the mercenary band came from?
結果、北の傭兵と称される大規模な傭兵部隊が誕生することとなる。
Holy crap. That's such an interesting thing. Like these Jaegers who are like these like mercenaries who do whatever it takes for money, who are willing to go like do terrible actions if it means getting paid. The motivation is that they're basically trying to funnel as much money as they can into their families who are living in basically a post like super weapon state where they're just floundering to survive. Holy cow.
こうして事件は世俗的には結末を迎えたが、
Right.
競技的な問題も含め、いくつかの重大な謎が残された。
Primarily, where'd it come from? I still think like my theory the last time I think still holds because we found like the super septum like crystal that was at the core of the Liberl arc, right? And it looked like it was a space crystal, which explains why it had all that space manipulation. This seems like it might be an earth crystal, like whatever that super like I guess they call them the sacraments, right? Whatever like that thing, whatever that gem was called, like I'm guessing that the earth one was there or found or activated inadvertently because these things are very clearly like planet shattering power levels, right? So someone inadvertently activated it and that triggered the salt pail.
そもそも杭はどこから現れたのか。数百アージュを超える巨大物体が都市の近郊に出現したにもかかわらず、空間転移に類する現象によって旧コート近郊に出現したと考えるのが有力であるが、あくまで類推の域を出ていない。
Spatial translocation teleportation.
さらに重大なのが杭の競技場の位置づけである。潮の杭は古代遺物とは一線を画する存在であり、より本源的な女神の創造の力の現れ。
Yeah.
神門界闘神。
Manifestation of the goddess's power of creation rather than an artifact, aka, like I said, those giant gems.
そう考えざるを得ないのが、 現状での我々の知識の限界である。杭を七四方の一つと対比する説もあるが、
Septarians, yeah.
聖典あるいは伝承との類似は特に発見されていない。
Septarian, that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
これらの難問にいつの日か回答すべく、風星省管内では現在も杭の研究が続けられており、その中からは杭を女神からの恩恵と捉え、むしろ教会の使命に用立てる方法すら考案されている。
Huh. So, you know, it's kind of interesting that they could believe that a god, apparently benevolent god, would just do this, right? Why? Why would she, if she believes and cares for her people, basically murder a third of a population and desolate the entire area in which like this occurred on a whim? That doesn't sound like a deity I'd want to worship. Oh, that's the bolt!
杭の破片を高圧水流で加工した制具。
Oh, that's terrifying.
現在最も実現性の高い計画である。塩の結晶で作られた筒を装着して用いることで、直接触れることなく杭を目標に投射できる。
Surrounded with a cylinder made of salt crystal. So you encase like the pale fragment in salt. When it makes contact, that salt breaks and makes the bolt contacts the flesh, and that in turn causes them to turn to salt.
攻撃対象が人間であれば、数秒で全身が結晶化して死に至り、
That's horrifying.
いかなる手段を講じてもその蘇生は不可能である。杭の正体が解明されていない現状では、軽々しく用いるべきでないことは確かであり、人道的な観点からも問題は指摘されているが、
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look like it was too painful, but horrifying, yeah.
しかし確実に抹消すべき対象が存在する場合には、極めて有効な制御であることをご記憶願いたい。
That's true. No miraculous healing, no miraculous returns, just full on dead.
研究は今後も継続して行われる予定である。
Oh my gosh, so could you imagine if you like took some of this like pillar material and you collected or made it like made a powder out of it, like a fine powder, and you could then drop it like a cloud over a population. You could that basically it'd be another super weapon. That's terrifying, but really,
本
really.
制具に関する追記。
The aforementioned sacred tool.
年月飛行前活動に限り本制具の使用が開始される。
I think that's the bolt, right?
年月抹殺に対し審問会より使用の命下る。
Yeah, execution of probably Alba, you know, the master.
年月
Yep.
抹殺にて使用。ボウガンより投射。
Fired from bowgun from Kevin.
結果は極めて良好。周辺への被害は皆無のまま。
Oh, that was literally the first time they used it too? Oh, wow, that could have been so bad.
対象を完全に抹消することに成功した。
Man, the church could be cold.
中期抹消者は塩の杭事件の被災
Oh
孤児。
my gosh. The target was orphaned by the salt pail when it first appeared.
以下略歴。七曜暦1180年。
He joined the
七曜
church.
教会に入信。
So he was orphaned by the salt pail. He then joins the church, and then we know he learns stuff, and then he leaves and joins Ouroboros.
七曜暦1185年。風星省に入省。
He climbed
政務
quickly.
官に就任。七曜暦1190年。
Oh wow, he climbed
司
really
教に
quickly.
少女。
He went from joining the church to a decade later being promoted to a bishop.
七曜暦1195年。下法と認定。破門。
I wonder if he was determined to figure out where the salt pail came from and then saw like how much information the church had been hiding, and maybe like that drove him to start just hoarding as much of it as he could before he got kicked out. Wow. Side story, the salt pail finished. That might have been the most crazy and amazing story. Like, I'm so glad I got to learn that. And received Petrify. 3,500 Mira. Wow. That's amazing. That might be the coolest thing we've learned in lore in the entire game so far. I think we're going to end things here. I know we've got a lot we can do, but it means we'll just start off with a bang next episode because we can let, I'm guessing, Cassette out of the crystal. And then we have the, there's this door. Okay, I'm going to open the map real quick here because there was the door. Nope, I didn't mean to click that. Hang on. Okay, this isn't even the right door anyway. This is the one that Estelle needs to open. I just misclicked. Okay, so not the, oh no, this is for Shara. It was the sun door. Yeah, sun door 1. So we'll want to take her to that when we get to it. But yeah, so we'll open the crystal, let Cassette out. Then we're going to go to that door and see what the mini game is, because like apparently there's mini games in those doors. And then after that, we'll continue on, probably fight the next devil. I could see the next part being the potential end of this chapter, depending on how this all plays out, because I think we have to go to the arena and then we go into the castle. So that's gonna be real spicy. I'm very excited for this. Holy crap, that was cool. That might be some of my favorite lore or world building I've ever heard. I honestly, frankly, I want to steal that plot for a D&D game. I'm totally stealing that plot. I don't care if it's not original. That's so cool. It'd be so crazy to tell a story from the perspective of people who either have to like I would say that going through it would be interesting, but even more interesting would be part of a team that was going in to try and investigate what had happened and like seeing like the results of all of that. How crazy would that be? Like imagine being like a party of heroes and you're called in to help with something mysterious happening. You get in the midst of the crisis, and then you focus yourself and your team to try and evacuate and keep everyone keep people from dying, watching it slowly rip things apart, and eventually it stops the spread. And then the end of the story is you go and investigate it, and you have to like figure out what that was. Oh, that's so cool! I'm totally stealing that. I'm absolutely stealing that. I cannot wait to use that in a story because that's so fascinating. I hate that I'm stealing, but at the same time, it's like, that's so cool. Maybe I could try and put my own spin on it, obviously, but like, wow, that's incredible. I'm going to be thinking about that for so long. Just that little short story alone of like how that salt pail appeared, what it happened, and what it kind of represented, and how it intertwined with the plot in general was so well done. Oh my gosh. God, my gosh. I'm going to be geeking out about this for ages. So I'm going to go ahead and get going. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel, for being a part of that. Wow. Just wow. That was amazing. I hope this video wasn't too short. I feel like it won't be, but like at the same time, I feel like it feels like it's been longer than it probably was because I did a lot of fights to get to get ready for that door. And so a lot of that will be cut. So hopefully this doesn't come across too short. But again, I feel like that's just so much to think about. I don't want to be rushing. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel, for being a part of the journey, especially the Patreon members. You're wonderful, wonderful people. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. And I look forward to being able to share more with you in the future. So until the next video, watching me up and see me in next. I'll see you there.